That will look fat. All right.
All right, Mom and Daddy.
They looking good.
What year is this?
Can you hear us talk?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And this is my mom and dad, Rosalie and Raymond Martin. All right. When and where were you born?
I was born in Kentucky at McDowell.
And when were you born? What year?
April the 5th, 1943.
Daddy. When were you born and where were you born?
I was born in Headstone, Ohio up here, December the 26th, 1938.
Well, was you born at home?
Mm-hmm.
What, a midwife came?
Yeah, midwife. Yeah, she squeezed her and I come right on out.
Wow. That's fine. And how was your childhood? Did you have electricity? You had electricity, didn't you?
Yeah, we had
Did you have running water?
No, when it rained.
Yeah. Did
No.
you, Mom? And like when you were young or real young, what did you do for fun?
We ran and played hide and seek and played hopscotch and marbles.
That's what you done, Daddy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'd play marbles and we'd go in the hill, climb them trees and get on them grapevines and ride them out and all that. And we'd go up there in a mule stall and we'd have blindfolds. 5 of us or 6 of us, and we'd put over one's face, and you could have to run that mule stall. They only how big as this room. They'd reach out and try to tip you. Once they tip, the ones that have taken do it themselves then.
We did that at school.
And that was fun, that was.
But you had to work in the field a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, I thinned corn when I was about 9 years old, 10.
Thinned corn, what's that mean?
Well, thin corn is if it's 5 or 6 stalks in, you pull it all up about 2 or 1. 2.
Yeah. Have you always lived in Eastern Kentucky?
Yes.
Didn't you live in Indiana for a little bit though?
Yeah, about 5 months maybe.
For what reason?
Raymond went up there to get a job.
Oh, okay. Mom, how far did you go in school?
8th grade, graduated to high school.
Did you? Oh, okay. I'm done at school. It don't matter.
Yeah, I went through one door and after the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is the best thing about living in Eastern Kentucky? What's your favorite thing about it?
Well, there ain't as much pollution as is in the city.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
it's more cleaner.
True. How about you, Daddy? What did you like about living here?
Well, it's free and anything you want, people can get it just about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you couldn't find no better place in Eastern Kentucky.
It's a lot cheaper place to
Yeah,
live,
it's a
too.
lot cheaper
And people seem to be more friendly.
yeah.
Yeah, they are. Hillbillies are.
Yeah. What do you think is one of the worst things about Eastern Kentucky? A bad thing about it?
Coal mines.
Why? Why don't you like coal mines? That's how we live.
It was all that come off.
Why you meant
The
what?
scent.
Oh, you mean the smell
How
and
people
stuff.
got
Black lung.
black lung. But that was the only way they had to make a living.
Yeah. How about you, Daddy? Is there anything bad?
No, it's the best work I ever done in my life, worked in the mines. Yeah, I worked in Kendallville up there. That was a rat race up there. Didn't like it. I come back and went to the project and worked 3 years. And went to the gas company. And I worked 3 years cutting weeds we did. And then I seen that wasn't no good. Didn't make no money and went to the mines then. And I worked 20 years in the mines.
Then you retired in the mines?
I quit the mines in 81. I was 41 years old when I quit the mines.
How much did you make that then? Can you remember?
10 hours a day.
Wow, that was pretty good.
When we married, he made about 10 a day.
I worked with Clyde Griffith up here for 5 hours a day.
So you've always made pretty good in the mines,
And then we worked at several mines up there. We'd make some days $150 a day. Then he cut down then I draw about 1,400 a month. I mean, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
As your last time, you
Yeah.
worked in the mines.
Yeah, I worked 11 years up there. We made real good money.
So pay got a lot better as years went on.
Yeah. Them little truck mines, you do 10 hours a day is all you got. Or you work more or less, you get 10 hours.
Did you ever get paid with script?
Uh-uh.
Never did. How about you, Mom? What kind of jobs did you do? I know you worked, you know,
Raised children.
and kept the home.
Yeah.
Did you sit with old people and stuff?
Yeah, I sit with those people at night, the elder people at night, for a few years.
Back when you worked, like way back when you was a boy, how much was minimum wage then?
What, no such thing as minimum wage.
Oh, really?
No, you just charge what they want to give you, and they pay you then what you charge. Most of the time I worked Goldie Martin 35 cents an hour. And then she got up $3 a day. I didn't have too much difference. And yeah, it was, and I'd take that $3 and go up there and buy me a quart of moonshine for $1.50. And then he had the other $1.50 to buy something else with.
Was you married then?
Yeah, I was married.
Oh. All right.
He'd make $3 a day and go buy him a quart of moonshine before he got home.
Ah.
Well, we split on it. It was $3 a quart, and we gave two of us set us $1.50 piece and bought a quart of it. That fire water.
Oh, yeah.
That's how a lot of people made their living back then too, was making moonshine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my dad made it there for years and years and years. And
Oh,
sold
did he?
it. Yeah,
And he sold it?
he sold it.
My daddy made moonshine too, up in Spin Camp, the head of the holler. And this old law called went Strimel. He come back there and called him.
Uh-oh.
And he had to go to the pen for about a year.
Really?
He never did make no more moonshine.
I'd say no, I didn't know that.
He did. He make it. He didn't drink it though.
He never was a drink, was he? Never did drink. Well, was your dad a smoker?
Yeah.
Was your dad a smoker, Daddy?
No, he didn't smoke none.
All right. How did...
While they was making whiskey back in the hill, us children would pick pretty flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you do with them?
We brought them home and put them in a jar and put water in them.
Oh. Did you have to work in the garden, too, when you were little?
No, I didn't have to. I had older siblings.
Oh, yeah. That's true. All
I
right.
was blessed.
How did you all meet? How'd you meet Dad and Dad? How'd y'all meet each other?
We was over at the Drift Theater. And we met over there.
What? How? You just seen each other and said, ooh, I like her.
I don't really know.
Do you remember, Daddy? Were y'all
No.
dancing?
No, it was theaters.
We went to the movies.
Movies over there.
Oh.
What them theaters?
I seen him before here and there, and
Did you
Yeah.
think he was handsome?
Yeah, I come. She lived
I
there.
didn't think nothing about it.
She lived across the bridge there from the hill, Drift Bridge from the hill up there. I'd be coming from Drift over there across the bridge to come to house walking. She'd come out on the porch and watch me and out the window see which way I go.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, then we went for years before we married.
Oh, yeah.
What was the movie that was playing at the theater?
I don't know.
Well, back then it was mostly them Western shows. Well,
Yeah.
Back then that's what they played. Lone Ranger and Wild Bill Haycock and Roy Rogers. Just a whole bunch of them.
Long Ranger.
Yeah.
Well, back then, like when y'all were married, did you have, or before, did you have any cars or anything to drive, or did you walk, or
We walked.
how did you get to work, Daddy?
Walked.
I walked and I bought a car well, I worked for my dad for making mining timbers, and I saved up 300 hours. Saved it up, and now a friend, that's Cassie's man, He took me to Pikeville. Now I was underage then. That's where I married Rosie and bought it. And it was a Chevrolet. It was about a 52, I think it was, somewhere along there. And it had been in the flood, and I didn't know it. And I drove about a month, and here it just quit running. Got checking in under the floor mat stuff. It's sand in under. We'd been in the flood.
Oh, for your hard-earned money. How long have you been married?
60 years this month.
Oh. Can you tell us what the key is to a successful, happy marriage?
Love your partner,
No matter what?
no matter what, through thick and thin.
Be like that woman, a man. I told down her church the other day. That woman told her husband, said, "Boy, our marriage sure been married, it was made in heaven." Man said, "Yeah, and so ain't thunder and lightning is too." I thought I said down there, you might have heard it. Went they all laughed.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said that. They all laughed then.
Yeah. Are you worried about the current state of the world, like the virus?
Yes. Of course.
Do you have any regrets? Things you've done in the past,
Things you wish you would have done differently.
or things you wish you would have done different?
Oh, Lord, yeah, I have.
Do you want to name any?
No.
Do you, Daddy?
No, I'd change a lot if I could call back, but you can't call back. But it's a good thing the Lord forgets your sins. He said, "I'll cast them in the deepest sea." He said, "I'll remember them no more," and that takes care of that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Are you happy now? Did you say you're happy?
I am.
Happy marriage.
Or just happy in general? Are you happy?
I'm happy in my heart because I have the Lord.
And you, Daddy?
Yeah, we're happy as a coon up a cemetery.
What kind of things make you happy now? What do you do to make you happy? That you enjoy?
I feel good.
Yeah, it makes you happy.
My
Daddy?
children's well.
Yeah, what makes me happy is got Rosie and been with her many, many years, and I pray that the Lord give us 10, 15 more years, but I don't know if he will or not, but you can ask. He said, "Ask you how receive," and so we're asking that he will. That one put us over about 90-some.
Yeah. Well, Daddy, what's some things you like to do? Like you go in the hills or anything?
Yeah, I like to go on the hill ginseng hunting and take my dog and go with me and 3 squirrels every once in a while. He'll tree them
I get
and some good
short.
exercise, good walking,
Long is good.
and you stay in pretty good shape. So you'll have a pain, but pain goes with it.
What did you find any ginseng?
No, I never found. I bought some on this Briggs boy up here, and then I had some where I'd found. I never had about $160 worth in all.
Oh.
He has found it in the past.
Yeah, I have found 2 pound or 3. That's when here a year or 2 years ago I got it for about $600 a pound. You got up to 800, but after you got so much, it's all dug out. You couldn't find much small stuff.
Does people replant it now?
No, they don't buy that wild kind, tame kind. They replant it, but not this. Sometimes they plant these wild seeds, ginseng seeds, but it comes up on its own where birds carry the seed and scatter them.
Oh, yeah.
And turkeys and everything.
Going in the hills like that all your life's probably one of the reasons you're so healthy
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah.
I'm all walking all the time.
Yeah, you walked all the time and worked a lot, didn't you?
I walked 20 years at the park.
Yeah, I know.
Plus, I've worked hard.
Yeah, we'd coon hunt that way. When I quit the mines on up, when them boys we did 5 nights a week we'd hunt. Coon hunt. We'd go plumb the West Celebrity and about everywhere. Had a wheel ride back through there and lots of places.
What did you take to eat? Did you take?
No, we'd go and stay way up in the night, maybe 1, 2 o'clock, and come back when the dogs comes back to us. And we caught quite a few coons that way, me and quite a few others.
Earl and
Did you hunt when you was younger? Like
We possum hunted quite a bit. Yeah, we'd go possum hunting on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. And then we'd have an opossum then last us all week.
You mean eat it?
Yeah, they'd eat them, and my dad would skin them. We'd bring them in, put them under a horse tub in the night. The next morning, then he would take that axe saddle, put it across their neck, and stand on the axe saddle and pull them by the feet and break their neck.
Were
Picture
they
it.
dead already?
No, they would die. They'd flop just like that.
Oh.
What did they taste like?
They taste like possum.
Is it any good?
Yeah, they were real good. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they'd what they do, they'd cook them and then bake them and put the pepper to them and biscuits and gravy. Yeah, they was real good. Possum was.
My mama used to fix them too, but I didn't eat none. Me and Irene mutton.
Did you ever fix them for Daddy?
No, I never would cook a possum.
Did you eat squirrel?
Yeah, we eat squirrel and what's that other one?
Coon.
Coons.
Oh, really? You eat coons?
We was going that night, me and Rosie and the children. You might have been with us. You've been small. Her and Wilma, we come back from, we've been somewhere, all of us has. I don't think she was born then. And my dog was treated way back on top of the hill, the main top. You could hear the barking every breath. I told Wilma and Jeffrey, Wilma and Earl, to get the rifle and go back. I had one shell, that's all I had. Put it in the rifle and they took it. Went top of that hill, you can see the light of going back there towards the top of the hill. And I heard them shoot. And the dog quit barking. And they come off and he had a coon there, I'd say, that long. And they just barked and carried that coon.
And them just little children.
And they had to drag it. It was so big, they drug it. And they brought it off here and we skinned it and they cleaned it. And made it and cooked it then. Baked it, it was real good. Back then they were good now, but back then the possums eat simmons, corn in these old fields where people raised. They didn't eat no dead stuff, and no dead stuff around, just corn they would eat and cinnamons. And,
So they wouldn't be real good to eat today?
yeah, they're just good now, but they're nasty. It's a nasty thing, yeah.
They're good as they ever was, but now you got too much to eat.
Yeah.
And back then you didn't have nothing to eat, and you had to eat stuff.
Ain't two things real nasty, an old possum and a chicken.
Yeah.
They're nasty as they can be.
So you pretty much had to raise and catch what you ate.
Yeah.
You didn't go to the store and get a ton of
No.
stuff.
We'd take eggs to the store where the hens laid, swap them for food.
When were you married then?
No, that's when we was growing up.
Well, you all had it hard. Had to work for everything, didn't you?
Yeah,
35 cents a dozen.
you didn't get nothing for free.
Raymond Turner store and
They would hold corn barefooted back in there, and the rocks were rolling down, they hitting their feet.
Did y'all ever have to have government assistance? Did they do that back then?
No,
You have enough time?
had them old commodities, and they wasn't no good.
When you worked in mines, how far did you go back in one?
I'd say not hardly a mile, I don't think it was. About a half a mile, I think about what's been.
Could you walk in there?
No, you couldn't walk about
Crawled.
28 inches to 46 inches.
Or how did you eat lunch?
Well, you'd lay down on your side to eat your lunch. And before we worked in the big mines up here, it was pretty good size. It was around about 36 to about 42, 46.
So you get on your knees then?
Yeah, you get on your knees and crawl.
Was you afraid to go back in them?
No, I liked it. I'd go sleep in that over on the rib and turn my light out and lay there on my powder box and go sleep. And you'd hear them mice running all around them. Oh,
Man, I
rats.
wouldn't go to sleep in there.
Them rats was going every way. You put your dinner up on a post that way, and they climb that post to get your dinner. They go and cut right in that bag, you hear them. And you turn the light on right quick, and here they go just everywhere darting.
Why did you go to sleep in there? On your lunch break?
No, I would get caught up that way, and didn't have nothing else to do, and I just go to
He
sleep.
couldn't take a lunch bucket because he'd always run over it. So he had to take a paper bag.
Oh, yeah. Well, like when you worked in the mines when you were younger, what were some of the stuff like you would take for lunch?
It wasn't much. I think maybe egg sandwich, and I think Was it potted meat or vein? He put in
Potted
there?
meat and vein and cakes or anything he can get
Yeah. What is the
that didn't ruin.
Yeah. What is the biggest difference in the world now, you think, compared to when you were growing up? Is it worse, better?
Yeah, it's worse and worse. It got worse. People getting wickier every day, and it's got worse. And the Bible said in these last days, perilous times, dangerous times, in the last days, in Timothy chapter 3 there, and verse 1, it's wicked people are. And I seen on the news this evening where that, in Louisville, that boy was taken over, done something, and police shot and killed him. He shot and killed him. Now they're going to start marching tonight in the city and everything. Tear it up again, I guess.
I think the living's better, but the times are worse.
Yeah, that's true. Well, too, like then you didn't have running water. Now you do.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah,
Things are more convenient, ain't they?
yeah, more convenient. I wouldn't trade that back.
Would you like to go back to old time living?
yeah, I would.
No,
You would, Dave?
Yeah,
Would you?
yeah, I would.
no, 3 times no.
I wouldn't either. But Daddy's used to working for everything he got, and that's
Back then, you had anything you wanted to eat, hogs, chickens, eggs, meat, anything you wanted, raised it, Now you buy stuff, it ain't fitting to eat, it's can't eat it, it's tough, and where they had it so long froze. We'd hang that meat in the smokehouse up there, big medlings and shoulders, and I'd come in from the theater up there, and next morning I'd go in and take my knife, cut me a big piece off that, and it'd cure it out, and you could eat it raw. And even you didn't have to cook it. Big strip, it just cured out and just dried out. It's real good.
well, you.
And now they put so many chemicals in the food.
Yeah, they
stuff to
do.
preserve it. Causes cancer.
Yeah, and it's dangerous to eat.
You remember used to, you would kill a hog, and then right over here you would have a piece of tin down, and he would cut some meat off of it and fry it
Uh-huh.
on the tin out there and with a fire, and it tastes so good.
Yeah, we'd split the liver and some pieces of it and meat
Light.
too. No one cooked the lights. We didn't eat them. It was good, but
We give 'em somebody that did like 'em.
Did you make your own stuff? Did you can and make your own sausage and stuff?
Made my lard.
You didn't make sausage?
yeah, she made some sausage and ground it, rolled
Yeah,
it
I
out.
made sausage. I forgot.
Yeah.
Make him crack.
Yeah, I made sausage.
And cracklings?
Yeah, we'd render them
Yeah,
out.
cracklings. That's when you render the meat out.
The strips where you left over, where you trim the meat up, trim it up that way, get the fat on it and some of the lean on it. And then we'd render it out, and they'd be the best there was. But
Make good bread with it.
Oh, you put them in bread?
Fatty bread.
Oh.
yeah, make them soft, put them in the bread.
I remember it seemed like you used to put yours in coffee.
Yeah, I put bread and coffee and biscuit.
No, you put cracklings.
Yeah, meat skin.
Yeah, I remember in there.
Yeah, make them soft that way, and
Then you could eat them.
yeah, they was real good.
He always had good teeth. He could eat anything.
Yeah. Are you all big coffee drinkers?
No,
I hardly ever drank a cup of coffee.
no, neither one.
I always drink Ensure for breakfast.
What advice would you pass along to younger people now that you've lived this long?
Well, we ain't lived long.
Live for the Lord.
I'd say live for the Lord and eat the right kind of food and exercise.
Yeah,
Exercise is the main important thing. And the Bible says to obey your parents that the days will be prolonged upon earth. And if it is, that's a good thing too,
and if you do eat too much junk food, go walk anyway.
Like they'd eat all they could hold, and their stomach would be rolled out and big. And to make them belts, they'd roll across of a log, the belly down on it, roll back as far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they said. They'd make them belts that way. And they'd pour out in their mouth where they eat so much.
Well, used to people didn't get that big because they worked too hard.
Yeah, I worked all the time. Did you and your dad work in the mines together?
Yeah, we worked some in the truck mines up there. That's when he took sick and died. We worked up there, me and him and Dennis and somebody else, and it was a big snow on the ground, I'd say about 3 or 4 inches, and the motor burned up on a shadow buggy.
Yeah.
And he could have given anybody $10 when he went and had done it. He went in there and him and Dennis took the motor off in the buggy, and it was cold outside, and it was hot anyway where they'd been sweating, and so he took pneumonia and flu, and he'd go every Sunday down there to see Slick Stumbo to get him a shot. One of them penicillin shots back then, that's what they give you. He went down there and go every Sunday, and he kept getting worse, and he thought he was getting better. And that Sunday, he went to one of them last Sundays, he went and Slick gave him a double shot, and his heart was weak. And he was come up there in the house, and his heart started hurting him so bad, and they told me to get Joe McKinney up there on the power. He come and took him straight to the doctor, my mother and him, and he just threw his head back to the seat and died. Throwed up and died. Took him on down there and Slick Stumbo said, well, we know his heart was bad, and he gave him a double shot, said he ought not have done that. But he did. He already been sued for that.
Yeah. They probably didn't sue much then, did they?
No. And old Slick, he drank all the time, and yeah, he'd give him a double shot. And if he put him in the hospital and doctor him, he might have lived a long time then.
Yeah.
But they never done. They gave him that double shot, and they killed him. His heart was weak, where they had that flu.
Yeah.
And I had pneumonia too.
Your mom lived a long time after that, didn't she?
Yeah, she didn't live too long. She died in 81. She was 76. We 76.
Well, he died in 62. 62.
Yeah, I never did know him.
Phyllis was a baby. And I carried Phyllis and Wilma both up there to that house when he was a corpse up there. Raymond was already up there. And Wilma could walk, but not much.
Yeah.
So I carried both of them up there about a mile.
Would they have him at their house?
Yeah.
They did that back then, didn't they?
Yeah, the living room there. He got preacher half to preach the funeral.
Oh.
Yeah. And Nubs, he drank all the time, he would. But if he wouldn't have drank a drop that evening night. He sat there in the swing, him and 2 or 3 more together, laughing, talking, but no, he never drank a drop.
Well, how many brothers and sisters do you have altogether?
There's 9 of them in all. It's 11 in all, kind of 2 died over here, so it'll be his children.
How about you, Mom? How many sisters and
15.
And, wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And Mommy raised 14. One died when she was about 18 months old.
What'd she die from?
I don't know where, they don't never know. She had worms, they think, killed her. See, you couldn't run to the doctor back then. You just get some of that old sour tasting worm medicine and take it, and undoubtedly they didn't do it.
Did
Drink that water over here.
back then, did you have go to the dentist when you were like a young girl?
No.
How about you? When you was young, you go to the dentist then?
No, we never did go.
Well, y'all want to say anything else?
Yeah, as the Carl up there, he never would brush his teeth. He had big teeth too, that boy did. Never did brush them, and them teeth stayed just fine as they could be.
Huh.
Yeah, they did. But he'd eat bark and eat all kind of stuff. He'd find the hairberries and stuff. He didn't brush them, but they just white.
Well, it's what you eat, I guess, makes your teeth stronger too.
What would he eat? Tree bark?
Yeah, but they went cherry bark. We'd eat it.
Oh, does it taste good?
Yeah.
We used to go on the hill and eat birch. They called it birch.
Was it sweet or?
Yeah, sweet. Birch limbs and eat them. And we used to find a big old bee swarm. They'd swarm in a hollow tree. And then that'd please us death. We'd go get all that honey.
How'd you get it though with the bees?
I don't know. The bees wouldn't be there then, or catch the bees settle down.
Yeah. Ooh.
And we'd had good breakfast then.
How'd your mom afford to cook for so many?
Well, she did. She cooked 3 meals a day.
Wow.
And we didn't have no snacks, no food or nothing in between.
And you had to eat what she fixed.
Yeah, we eat every bite of it.
Me and Rosie stayed all night up at the house. When I first stayed all night, and they always went to bed about 7 o'clock. In summertime, it'd be daylight.
When we married,
And they looked out the window, them chickens behind the yard running around. And Rosie didn't know what in the world think going to bed that early, you know.
At 7?
Yeah, sometimes.
but we always had 14 children. And I never did know going hungry.
Yeah.
We always eat cushaw, fried cushaw, cooked cushaw, and
I don't like cushaw.
I do. Well, you would if you, and it was good with pinto beans and fried taters. We'd come home from school and they'd have dinner for us, hot meal.
Yeah.
And we'd walk back about a half a mile and it'd be took up for dinner.
So how far was your school? About half a mile from you?
I say, yeah.
We ought to live on cushaw, but I raised on pumpkin.
Yeah. Did you all go to the same school when you lived?
No, I lived Fraser's Creek.
Yeah, I'm at the hunter school and dress school up here.
Oh.
And I went to McDowell School.
Yeah, I worked up here in the mines for Junior Butler and them. And see, they didn't know money to give you a advance or nothing. They'd give us a store. 10, 15 hours, all they wanted. Take the Raymond Turner store over here and trade it out. And when payday come, then they would have the money out of my check and pay them the store.
Huh.
You stored her.
I went to school up Neds Fork
Yeah.
to the 6th grade.
Well, when you went to school, you all went to school. What time you went? What did they have books, or did you have to do it like?
No, they had books.
Did they? Did you bring them home, or they just stayed at school?
Well, no, I could take them home. You could take them home.
Oh.
And
Yeah, we had a book up there, Roundabout book. That was the last thing come out. We never learned much of that because I quit school then, and it was the name was Roundabout book.
What had stories in it?
Yeah.
Why did you quit school?
They took me out so I could help farm
Oh,
in the field, up there, and different things.
That was pretty common back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
some children didn't get no education because they had to work and make food to live on.
Some of your brothers can't read because they had to work, didn't they? They didn't go to school.
Yeah, they had to work because they played hooky.
Oh.
I mean, they didn't want to go to school.
Yeah.
That's from me.
I remember one time they played hooky, 3 of them did. And they got under the porch, and we had planks for the porch and big cracks in it. And Mommy started scrubbing, and all that water went right on them.
That's why if I drift is on Easter up there, and we'd hide eggs at school. And the teacher said, one find the most eggs will give you 35 cents. One find the most. And so me and Nat Wright made it up. Which one found we put mine, his, and both together. And so he did what he found, what I found, and he gave me his, and I won the 35 cents.
Did you split the money with
Yeah, we split it.
Oh, that was a good deal, wasn't it?
Yeah. See, we couldn't have got it if we hadn't done that. The teacher didn't know the difference, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you could buy a jumbo pie, we call them jumbo pies for a nickel, and a pop for a nickel.
The sandwich for a dime.
Wow.
They'd give us a dime if we was blessed enough.
Yeah. How about gas? Well, you didn't have a car, I guess.
That was out of the question.
It was quarter a gallon. It was 20 cents, but I can remember when it was a quarter.
Some man had owned a car, lived up there, and he'd take Mommy to the store.
Did she pay him, or he just do it for free? Or?
No, she had to pay him.
Do you remember getting your first TV?
We never did have her.
When you were married a long
Oh,
time
yeah, we
ago?
didn't. No, we didn't have no TV for a long time. We didn't have no TV.
I remember y'all having one about this, a real little one.
Yeah, one of them little beddings.
And how did you get, How did you get it to work? What? There wasn't no phone or TV companies. What did you do?
We'd rent top of the hill, TV line,
Yeah.
and you put an antenna top of the hill, hook the line onto it, and one channel you get, channel 3. And you'd get a picture of wind blow the antenna, it'd turn a little bit, hear the picture go off, here you'd have to go over the line, get the sticks off the line, and go back and turn the antenna back around there.
Most time we didn't have no TV.
No, most of the time we didn't.
Most.
We didn't have them there in the house. And the radio and battery radios. And battery radios, and big batteries, Raymond Turner's. We bought one off him, my dad did. Battery about this long, about that wide. And my battery radios, you put that battery in there and take our line to the wind and hook a coat hanger on the end of the radio on the wire. You pick the Grando Opry up on Saturday night when I come in from my theater, I'd turn it on. And you pick Grando Opry up.
We'd all get around the radio on Saturday night and put our ear to it and hear it.
Oh. Did you all ever go to dances? Sometimes at the theater or at the building out there?
No, they didn't have dances. Just a movie.
And y'all, did they have drive-ins?
Yeah.
You got older?
Yeah, they had drive-in. We took you all to drive-ins. I never did like them.
Yeah, we'd take that away, and that's where I married. And they had that drive-in down below Allen. We down there in that bottom where my niece lives.
Almar.
And yeah, we'd go about 3 or 4 of us getting in the trunk of the car. And get in there and you push the trunk back down almost, we'd hold it down. And after we get out, we get out there, and I'd say paying the chauffeur that way.
As for he married, I
That's
didn't.
where I married.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd get right in there. They didn't think about checking the trunk, And yeah, we'd get in there and get down there and get in, get out.
Uh-huh.
Get in the seat of the car
What do
then.
you think were the most important things that you've learned in life? What would you say is the most important thing?
Like the most important lesson you've learned?
I've learned a lot of important things.
Like maybe things you used to do and don't do now, or maybe things you did do and or don't do, or
Why you learn?
Things we once done, we don't live it no more. Like the Lord says, there's been a change in people serve the Lord,
Oh.
There's a lot of good things. Well, the Bible says in pleasure in sin for a season. It was pleasure in sin.
yeah.
But after it's finished, it brings forth death. After the death, the judgment, I should say.
Yeah.